Hello everyone, and I want to have a conversation with you guys. This ain't gonna be like a video where I have my replays or anything like that. I just want to talk to the audience, specifically obviously the fighting game players, even if you don't play them, still, I just want to talk to you guys about something. We are in a situation where, I didn't think this would happen, at least not for a while, but here we are. We are basically in a rough spot for the fighting game community, the FGC. And what do I mean by that? Well, every fighting game right now, specifically Street Fighter, Tekken, Fatal Fury, and 2XKO, and we can make an argument about MK, but this is just not, I can't really say much about Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat's kind of always had things going on for it, like negativity or something there's always something going on with MK, so I'm not going to really count it for the sake of the argument. But those four other games I mentioned are currently in a rough spot with Tekken 8 with the Season 2 update. Currently we have, we got Anna just now, but with the balance patch, the Season 2 balance patch has, it's full on more aggression, more plus frames, casino, very, obviously it's more Casino 8 than ever. This patch is considered to be the worst patch ever, and I've said this already in another video, and I'm not obviously here just to talk about, Tekken. I'm also here to talk about Street Fighter, 2XKO to the best of my abilities, because I have not kept up much of it, but I know that game only has 10 characters, and that's, that game has, a tag system into it, so it would have made sense to have more characters, but they want to, perfect it as much as they can, but eventually they got to ship that game out. And then Street Fighter 6, got the Elena data mined. Yes, Elena got data mined, and now revealed that the game is going to be on Nintendo Switch on June 5th, which also has like some amiibos and some cards. It's gonna have like all the characters, like all 26 characters, 20 stages, and obviously -1 because the other one might be Elena, or I think Mai's World Tour stage. I could be wrong. I don't know at this point. It's all over the fucking place is what I'm trying to say. And then Fatal Fury featuring another character, or how about this? Let me rephrase that. Real life person to the game, Salvatore Giannacci. I'm not sure if I'm butchering that right. If I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. But it's someone that basically no one really knows. It's not like, Cristiano Ronaldo, that obviously everyone and their mother and grandma knows who that is. The other guy, Salvatore, no one really knows him. No one really knows. That's like a whole other thing, really. So basically, I'm kind of just talking the current state of fighting games right now, essentially. It's been disastrous. I mean, the most talked one, of course, is Tekken 8 with its Season 2 balance patch, and that has been a clusterfuck. Jack with 2-1, up 4, 1+2, and then Paul with what was it, sway? Yeah, forward sway, down forward 1. That counter, well, not even counter hit, insta counter hit. It's guaranteed a counter hit. I believe it's only a counter hit, or it's a true string. It's a true actual string. No matter what, it'll always be a counter hit launcher, even without counter hit. And then he has unblockable moves, and also the TODs that everyone has. Well, not everyone, but Paul, Jack, even fucking Lydia has a TOD. It's just, guys, it's been a rough spot for not just Tekken fans, but for the fighting game community specifically. It has been rough. Now, granted, with Street Fighter 6, on the other hand, granted that game has a lot of players and has been having great support. It's just been the lack of communication with that game. That game has, like I said, it has been having a great track record of, having consistent players, even with this player base that's been playing the game consistently and, always having some stable amount of retention rates. That game has had a lack of announcement. Well, not like announcements. Communication. There you go. Communication has been the main thing, like that is very problematic for Street Fighter 6. Granted, with Tekken 8, I'll be honest. Harada and Michael Murray at least talk about the game on Twitter. Which, by the way, before I keep going with Street Fighter, let me also pinpoint this with Michael Murray also blocking people on Twitter, like Mrs. Play stuff, for example. I think everyone knows that at this point, and I feel for this. And it's just with constructive criticism too. It's not anything like with harsh words or anything like that. No, it's just being constructive with how the game really is. And I'm sorry, it's just, I feel for everyone, to be honest. I know that obviously they said they were going to make the game more defensive-wise, and clearly they contradicted themselves, and it's been a whole year and some change that the community has been very reasonable with the devs. And after that, with the devs not really listening back, it has not been easy for everybody. And as I go back to Street Fighter, it hasn't been easy over there, even with how the launch went so well for both Street Fighter and Tekken. Street Fighter has had an incredible launch, but very lackluster, post-launch. I don't have to say this, or I've said this already, with the outfit 4 and the constant avatar like skins that the core fan base doesn't really, they're not really into that. Everyone just wants a new outfit for everybody, right? And obviously they don't have to drop it, all at once. They can just drop it individually. Capcom has not had good communication as of, for a while now, and it wasn't like this back in Street Fighter 5, like the later part of Street Fighter 5. They've been on ass with communication. They have been hauling ass. They've been having live streams, talking about things like what's going on with the game. They have been on a roll with that shit, But now it's like, there's no sign. There is no sign of communication. And that's kind of what the problem is. I wish things were, a bit better for the fighting game community. And then, obviously, back to like, I just wish things were, more better. And I hope, things will get better, of course. There's obviously going to be a lot of time to fix all these issues, but we got a long way to go. Okay? Elena's not out yet. Her teaser trailer's not out yet. Her gameplay trailer's not out yet. Her theme's not out yet. There's a lot of things that they've been missing. And, there was a lot of times they could have, showcased her. They could have showcased her at fucking Capcom Cup. They could have showcased her at fucking the Nintendo Switch Direct. Nintendo Direct. They could have done that. They could have literally anywhere else that could have been like, a good time to actually showcase her. The teaser, everything, the gameplay, all that shit. And not to backtrack also, before I made this video, I had a friend literally just DM me on Discord saying they disconnect. Actually, no, two in fact. They're gonna delete Tekken 8 because they do not like the direction of this game. I'm sorry if I'm backtracking back and forth. It's just I don't want to miss out on certain information, but I also want to pinpoint this. I have two friends that said they deleted Tekken 8 because they don't like this direction that the game is going, with the full crouch mix-ups, the more aggression, the extra plus frames, the stance transitions after certain moves, like Jin with forward 4-3 while running 3-2 with Azucena, Miyadi, what was it called? Forward 4-2, or not forward 4-2, forward 1+2 with June, and then go to Miyadi's stance, and basically that shit is like, fucking, it is full screen, right? It's just, guys. I've been playing Marvel Rivals as of late, and, well, I still play it, it's still a good game, but I've been playing it a lot, and I feel it's so that that game has NetEase, its audience, has definitely been very coherent with the communication and knows their audience. Fighting games, well, at least mainly Tekken, of course, haven't really been doing that. And also, with the directions these fighting games have been going, it's been a rough spot to be a fighting game player. I think at this point, the golden age, I guess you could say, has been kind of going off the rails at this point. You could make an argument about that, but I don't know anymore, guys. I really do not know how things are going to go at this point. We're kind of in a weird spot to be in. We're kind of in a weird, like, bubble. And it's about to burst with whatever these devs are going to tell us in the future. Now, granted, with Tekken, I'll admit they at least said that they're going to have an emergency patch. But the problem about this is that it's not going to happen until mid to late April. I almost forgot to mention that. But, oh man, I don't know. I don't know, guys. With how I am with SF6 already, I kind of just don't know anymore. I just don't know anymore, man. But yeah, there's also, of course, 2XKO. That game has, like, you know, 10 characters, and that game is, you know, it's basically a 2v2, essentially, and 10 characters. This is probably just me thinking, like, this ain't a traditional type of fighting game, but it is, but it's not, I guess you could say. But 10 characters is clearly, obviously, very low, and that's a concerning amount. And obviously, this is Riot Games. You'd think they would have a lot more characters, especially considering, you know, this game has been in development for, what, 7-8 years at this point? So, with that being said, you'd think there'd be more characters or something like that. But no, it's only been 10. And I'm concerned about that. I want to see what's going to happen, because I know they made a lot of changes. And then, you know, you got Jinx, who has been changing quite a lot, and then you got Ari in a bikini and a swimsuit. So there's definitely some good intentions. I hope for the best. I definitely want to see how that game has more characters, and I think they scrapped another character. I forgot what the character's name. I'm not really good with League of Legends or anything like that. So I think I know there was like a character. It's a female, of course. I forgot her name, but if you guys can pinpoint down in the comments who that character's name is, please. I just can't think of it at the top of my head. But look, for that game's future, I hope they can add more characters. If they can have a good post-launch, then I can see it being a success. It's just that number is concerning, to be honest, because they've been doing everything right. And obviously, you know, with the 7-8 years of development, they gotta eventually you know, release it to the public at some point. And last but not least, before I close out this video, we have Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, you know, discussing. We got this game where SNK, I gotta admit, when I played the beta, it was a very good game. It's a very good game. I'm just concerned about what they're doing with guests, because, you know, now that they added Cristiano Ronaldo, I was like, all right, you know what? Okay, that's nothing. It's major, but it's not like tilting my head to the sideways, being like, what? But this new Salvatore guy, I was concerned. I'm like, who is this guy? Because I don't think that many people know who he is. Because I'm sitting and watching the trailer, I'm like, who is this guy? Why is he in Fatal Fury, you know? And I'm just like, what? I don't know who it is. And if they're adding characters that are not even like, that are just normal people, someone who's not that famous, like, I'm not trying to be harsh or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, oh, like someone who just like, that no one has ever heard of comes into the game. And I'm not trying to be rude about that. It's just like the way everyone's, you know, the way the perspective is for adding a guest like that is weird. Because if you're adding someone like, let's just say, for example, you add someone like, okay, well, let's put it the way Ken and Chun-Li. Those are fighting game characters, okay? Obviously, Terry and Mai is in SF6, and Ken and Chun-Li are in Fatal Fury. All right, that makes sense. That can boost some sales for both games. All right, that makes sense. Versus someone we never heard of. I don't know, guys. The fighting game community is all over the place right now. And I hope for the best for things to get better. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, man. I don't know anymore, because with that guess, I was like, what? Like, what's going on, SNK? But no, I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to address my concerns and see what you guys have to say about this too, because I'm also I'm trying to be optimistic, but I'm also very concerned about the future. But yeah, guys, I hope for the best, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. But no, we'll see, man. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. What are your guys' thoughts about the current state of the FGC? Do you guys, you know, hope for things to get better with not just one fighting game, but every fighting game? Every fighting game needs to succeed for another one to get better, you know? So like, if Street Fighter fails, then so will Tekken fail, so will 2XK, all that shit, right? Fatal Fury will fail. You know, it's just every fighting game needs to put up their own weight and have things succeed. We need all the fighting games to get in a better spot. But they have to put in the work for that to happen, though. But no, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.